what have we got here? APECOIN announced their date of APECOIN staking, 31st of October. I was expecting it to be a bit sooner. To be quite honest, they were hinting at it being sooner. There was supposed to be a Spaces 2 days ago. For some reason, that got postponed. They said that one of the guys, one of the important guys in this, wasn't able to do it. I think he was sick or something. Fine. And then they just said, in lieu of today's postponed Spaces, we wanted to share the go live date is the 31st of October.
Well, they're definitely
ApeCoin's going. ApeCoin's going live, bro.
Cool.
With staking in 5 weeks' time, and it's really quite a complicated mechanic, right? So basically, anyone who owns ApeCoin can stake. However, if you own a Bored Ape Yacht Club, then you, up to a maximum of 10,094 ApeCoin, you get a higher guaranteed yield than someone who just stakes the coin.
Gotcha.
So if you have a Bored Ape Yacht Club, you would be able to then stake your ApeCoin and get a better yield. Same thing with the Mutant Apes. The Bored Ape Kennel Club, no, it's a multiplier. So if you just have a Kennel Club, you won't get anything. But if you have a Mutant and a Kennel Club, or a Bored Ape and a Kennel Club, you get an extra allowance for it, right? So the yield on Bored Ape Yacht Club is like 400%.
Jeez.
But that's why we've seen ApeCoin holding steady while everything else has been dropping. It's between $5.50 and $6 because of this. But I think people were anticipating it to be sooner than the end of October. And we might see, depending on the global market, which is not looking great, we might see dips and other opportunities, or maybe it just continues to hold stable. The important thing here, I mean, I've got a Mutant and I've got a Kennel Club, actually. And I've been really giving this a hang of a lot of thought as what is the play here, what to do. So on the one side, I know that any project that I've staked anything with, any projects, the rewards in the beginning have been decent on some of them, like Metaverse is the one that I did really well on, those metaverse plays.
Wait, how well?
Like really well. Like the NFT itself was 2 ETH, and you would get about, after 6 weeks, you would get 2 ETH. And I held for about 3 or 4 months. But
Wow.
I reinvested. So after I saw that I got 2 ETH and I'd paid for the NFT in essence, I bought another Metaverse Genesis. And when I got 1.5 ETH after 6 weeks, I bought another. And so I ended up with 4 Genesises, and ended up having to sell them at whatever, half an ETH to 1
That happened to me with Ugaverse. They're like apes. I bought I just kept buying Robo Ugas because it kept giving me more and more until it didn't, and it crashed. I was like, fuck me.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, first of all, don't fade Yuga is the one thing that I always say in my head. But second of all, I don't know of any project. So on the converse side, I don't know of any project that has done this successfully, even medium term. Automatically, what happens is you get a good yield on day 1, day 2, day 10, and then it starts to go down. And because the money's locked up, you can't cash out, right? And therefore, you working your yield out on today's price of $5.50, but when in 6 months you can take your ape out and the token price is $1.50, then you haven't gotten anything. You've lost, right? So, if it wasn't Yuga, I wouldn't even be giving it any thought.
Yeah,
it's just that it's Yuga. The other thing is that the founders are able to unlock their allocation of ApeCoin in the next coming weeks or months. And I do imagine that that's going to, that some of them will cash out. They were allowed to at that stage. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Will you scroll up for me real quick back to the part where it talks about Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Kennel Clubs, multipliers and stuff? Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me try and make it like that for you.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys know I talk a lot of shit about Bored Ape Yacht Club. The one thing I will say that they do well on is they always make sure to benefit the Genesis holders and then the Mutant Ape holders. And I think they do a really good way of including the Kennel Club, but not giving them enough. Like in my head, it would be weird to give Bored Ape Kennel Club a lot of benefits because it's like the tertiary collection. It's kind of like me. I sort of look at it with my access keys would be the Bored Ape Yacht Club for my NFTs, and then the Torch NFTs are kind of like the Bored Ape Kennel Club, where it's like, yeah, you're in the club, but like just barely. Like you're in there, but there's no like crazy benefits as would be the same for like holding a Bored Ape Yacht Club. Because in my opinion, that kind of devalues the point of having the Genesis NFTs. If you can just buy like the cheapest one and get a bunch of benefits. So I like the way they do all that. Who knows if it'll work? But I like the way they think about kind of trying to bring rewards back to their holders.
Yeah. So it's quite complicated. They say accumulated ApeCoin can be claimed at any time without the need to also stake ApeCoin. So you can claim your if it rises your gains. All accrued ApeCoin generated from stake is claimed at once when initiating a claim. The stake ApeCoin can be claimed along with its accrued ApeCoin directly by the original staking wallet. However, they're two separate transactions. Stake ApeCoin is still valid to use to vote in the DAO. The claim of accrued ApeCoin from a commitment NFT, the same NFT needs to be present in the wallet. So if you sell your mutant, let's just say, and you only have one mutant, no Bored Ape, you lose that multiplier. So it's like staking your NFT as well as staking your ApeCoin. But it's more actually staking your NFT because they're saying you can claim the ApeCoin at any stage. I've put a link in the description of the video for guys to have a look at it. And they've committed $300,000 to $500,000 for this, meaning that's what they're going to be paying out in rewards to the entire, staking pool, which is, obviously, a lot of money. But if you divide that amongst everyone who stakes, I don't know how.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that enough?
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, like honestly, if it was anyone else, I wouldn't even be interested. But really, these guys are not stupid. They really not. And do you think that they don't know that every single project that started staking and token staking has gone, from hero to zero? They know that. I think they might have something up their sleeve. They honestly. If it was anyone else, I would find it's a simple staking. I mean, I don't know. For me, staking is always a red flag, always. But because it's Yuga, I'm like, I don't know. And the other thing with staking is that it's quite a dangerous play because once you start allowing for staking of your token, you open yourself up to the SEC more. And you're under more scrutiny, you more considered a security. But again, they've got great legal advice. So look, if it wasn't Yuga, I would be like, this is ridiculous. The fact it's Yuga, I'm thinking they've thought it out and they've got something up their sleeve here,
I think they could have something up their sleeve, but I think maybe they will only pull it out if they need to. Yeah, like a backup plan. If it's necessary.
No, I think they've got a different take on this. I mean, here they're saying staking participants will be able to stake ApeCoin and use the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem NFTs to receive ApeCoin from a present pool over a set amount of time. But then they say that you can take it out at any stage. So I don't actually properly understand whether you can touch that. I mean, the whole point of staking is you can't touch it, but maybe they mean the Bored Ape Yacht Club or the mutant or whatever is what's being staked, not the actual ApeCoin itself. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. It's a bit confusing.
It is confusing. So look, there's a couple of plays here. Either you hold on to your mutant or your Bored Ape or whatever it might be, and use that as a multiplier and play the game along with them and go through the process, or you sort of buy into Ape when it's a good price and sell it, but just before, because guys who want to stake will wake up the last minute, a week before staking, all your Bored Ape Yacht Club holders, all your mutant holders, everybody that's got all this money and start buying ApeCoin.
Yeah.
And that will cause a pump and you sell just before the staking. And the same thing with your assets, like your mutant. Maybe the play here is to sell my mutant when it gets to a high enough price. I mean,
yeah, what did you buy it at? Do you remember?
I paid 14.1.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I bought it like a month ago. I bought it recently.
Nice.
So it's not the mutant behind me that I paid 6 and sold at the Pico top.
Crazy.
Which I was really proud of. But I mean, look here. I mean, it's 15.7 now. I'd happily sell mine at 19. Make a quick 4 or 5
Yeah, I was going to say it'll probably run up to 20.
It probably will, and maybe that's what you do. I don't know. Lots of things to think about here, but just wanted to bring it to the viewers' attention. They have announced the date of the launch. They've released information which I've attached to the description, and we're definitely seeing a run on the assets, on the NFTs. So let's just quickly jump onto Bored Ape. I know it was about 77 yesterday, the floor. Yeah, so it's risen a bit, but again, in US dollars term, because of what Ethereum is at the moment, I don't know how much it actually has risen. So I'm starting to look at NFTs in USD terms now instead of looking at it in ETH terms.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah, so in USD terms, it's pretty flat. 77 when ETH was 1,400 compared to 80 when ETH is 1,280 is pretty much the same thing, and the same with the mutants.
Yeah,
Going to be interesting.
Bored Apes, bro. Bored Ape. You've done very well in the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem, I will say.
I've done very well in the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem. That's why I don't want to fade them.
Yeah.
Because they haven't let us down before. Then we've got Wyatt saying here, I wonder if Coda will be separate from the other side land. Wyatt, 100% in my opinion. I mean, and it is just my opinion, but I think they've even said so. 100% you're going to be able to separate your Coda. Second to that, you're going to also be able to separate all the resources and use them in-game and all the things that come along with that. Personally, I'm 100% sure, even if they haven't said it explicitly. But again, not financial advice. Do your own research. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I personally, in my mind, that's a given. That's an absolute given that you're going to separate.
I hope so. But they're going to have something. They have to have something really, really good for the Codas. Otherwise, it's just going to be a shit show. It's going to be anarchy and chaos in the streets.
So that's the other concern, is that there's massive dilution going on here. If you separate the Codas, then you've got